Hi there everyone. Today I'm going to make a shrimp. This is going to be a fairly cool pattern. This is going to be a shrimp for fishing, night fishing. So it's going to have it's going to be completely black with spay hackles and some glow in the dark eyes, and then on top here I'm going to add some foam as the carapace to make sure that it stays on the surface. A very good fly for night fishing. And if you want, you can simply, if you don't want the foam carapace, you can simply just leave that out, and the pattern is exactly the same except from the foam carapace, and works very well, also in other colors. So first of all, add some thread. Then I take some STF or polar dubbing, depending on where you get it from. It has two different names, but it's the same. Like so. Gonna tie this in as kind of the tail here. Do a bit of thread here. Pull some of it out. Turn it over. Tie it down again. Like this. Make sure it's not too long. Like that, and there you have the first part of the tail. The second part is going to be a spay hackle, but spay hackles are often quite costly. So in order to save on the good sized spay hackles, I'm just going to take two of the long top feathers that is usually not used for anything. I'm going to take two of these. And simply just strip them from the fibers and use the fibers to do the fly with. So I save on the cost of the precious correct length feathers. So just took two of the big ones here. You could also use, if you have some space saddles or stuff like that. Those would be able, you would be able to use them in the same way. Like this. So you can see the length here is not completely uniform. I don't want it to be completely uniform, but I want it to be more uniform than it is now. So I'm taking the longest out and just putting them back in so they have a bit more usable length, like that. And then I simply just distribute these all around the hook here. So they're gonna be a pseudo hackle. Like so. That was from first feather. I'm gonna do exactly the same thing with the second feather. It takes two feathers to make this as big as an ordinary hackle, but it saves half the hackles you're using. So you will have your cape twice as long, which I think is a good thing. Even though I would love to sell you some hackles, no worries, but I also think there has to be some sort of sense to all the madness. These capes are expensive enough as it is. It's expensive enough as it is. So no need to simply no need to not save where you can. Like that. You can add them so they are gonna go around the hook, like that. Normally on your shrimp patterns you would have some sort of weighting on there now to balance the fly and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do that because this is as I said, a fly that's gonna be move very close to the surface because it's intended to fish during night time. So no weighting, no weighing. Or how you say it, like that. And there you have the first part of the fly. Good. Now I'm going to make a small bundle of dubbing in order to keep the eyes in place. Like this. Just a small bundle here, like that. And then I'm using the Easy Shrimp Eyes, and the Easy Shrimp Eyes comes in a lot of different colors and are just truly great. If you don't know these eyes, then you should. As you can see, here are three different colors here, and it's two eyes stuck on a small pin here with some indentations, so you can actually tie it down and it's gonna stay there, and you will not end up with any pirate shrimps with one eye. But it was not these. There is a lot of different colors, as I said, a lot in fluorescent, really powerful stuff. But the one I'm going to use today is going to be glow in the dark. So you can actually illuminate this, and it will instantly be illuminating and glowing in the dark. And that's an effect that a lot of people like for night fishing. I've not had too much experience with it myself. I've not used it too much myself, but a lot of my mates says that it really is the bomb and really works great. So I'm gonna try it this summer, like that. And as you can see, the eyes are completely perfect aligned. They is exactly where I want them to be. No fuss, no trouble, no bullshit. Just great stuff. The Easy Shrimp eyes are just great. Just truly an amazing product. So if you're tying shrimp flies, you need to get your hands on some of these, because well, if you haven't gotten any of those yet, you will love them, and once you've tried them, you're never gonna bother with anything else. That was at least true for me. So tying this down, a bit more dubbing here, to make sure this looks as I want it to. Like that. And then I'm gonna take some crystal flash, some flash ascent in the color mirror opal. This is probably the most intense flash I ever had, but since it's for a night fly, then we're okay. We can use something that is quite intense. Just gonna make sure these are not uniform in length before I tie them down. Just gonna use 3 or 4 strands, something like that should do the trick. Like so. Cutting that off. These will work as antenna and stuff like that as well. Making sure everything is exactly in place where I want it to be, and then I'm gonna take my foam. I'm gonna take I've cut out a strand of foam here. I'm gonna cut that so it's so it tapers, as you can see. And the trick here is to I really did a quite good job there. It tapers the same way. Oh, we're gonna tie a lot of different stuff in before we're gonna apply the foam. I'm gonna use some ribbing. This is 0.16, just some thin monofilament line is great. This is gonna help keep the foam in place, but also reinforce the fly. Like that. And then of course my spay hackle, and I've chosen a feather already. This is going to be a palmer hackle, full body hackle. I'm going to tie down so the shiny side is up and pointing towards me. So pointing towards yourself when you tie this in will help it have the right curve when you're tying. So just gonna turn this over, this ribbing over, tie it down once more so I'm sure it's gonna stay there. And then I'm gonna make a small bundle of dubbing again here to have my foam latch onto. So the base of the foam is gonna be solid. That was a bit too much dubbing. Like that. There. And then I take my foam here, I cut it out so it has a pointy end. Gonna lay this approximately there. Like that. And as you can see, there you have it on top of the hook here, like so. And then I'm gonna make the rest of the body. I'm just gonna I don't want to use a dubbing brush. I'm just gonna do like this, simply. And the trick here is to take a small amount and simply just to make kind of like a sausage or a bundle here, just to move your fingers in the same direction and apply a lot of pressure whilst doing so. Simply add some dubbing here. I'm gonna do this fairly loosely so I can pull a lot of this dubbing out later on to create kind of a veil, not a veil. I don't know what how it says, to create kind of like a fluffy underside of the fly that looks a bit transparent, because this fly is easily going to be spotted anyway because it has the solid foam top over it. So in order to make it look a lot more like an actual shrimp, like an actual meal for a fish, make this a little translucent, a little transparent by pulling out some of these fibers. Like that. Add the final part of the dubbing here. As you can see, I'm tapering it so it's gonna be thinner up towards the front here. I'm gonna turn my hackle. And if you don't have a good set of hackle pliers, I can surely recommend you the CF Design ones. The CF Designs is by far the best hackle pliers I ever encountered. They are simply superior in any way to anything else on the market. I've tried a lot of different stuff. I tried all the big branches, the Tiemco, the Küsten-fly, all that stuff. This is simply just the one and only. It can really hold anything just in a completely tight, firm grip. It's just unbelievable. The CF Design is just the one and only. Like that. And then I'm gonna brush all this hackle fibers down here from on top of the fly here. I'm gonna pull some of the dubbing out on the top side here. Like that. We're gonna take the foam here. Tie it down in the front of the fly. Like that. I'm gonna take my ribbing. I'm not gonna do this ribbing too firmly. Just a few, just two or something like that turns up here. Like that. Gotta tie it down all the way in the front. Gonna cut it off. Make a whip finish. And then, in order to give this fly the final twist, so it's actually gonna stay as close to the surface as possible, I'm gonna cut this off so it gets kind of like a gurgler effect. So I'm not gonna cut it completely off. I'm gonna cut it off right there. All right, let me take a look at your side now. So here I'm gonna pull out some of the dubbing now, in order to give it the perfect look. And this step is quite crucial to making the fly look as good as it can. And also make it fish as good as it can. And there you have it. The night skater gurgler shrimp. A cool pattern that has a lot of Danish sea trout on its conscience. As you can see from the top here, you have the two eyes. That is glow in the dark. You have all the flesh that adds some nice shine to it, and well, basically that's it. Thank you for tuning in.